Nadszedł czas zmiany, przejścia do prawdziwego działania wszechświata. I nadszedł czas, aby zrozumieć, że używamy stanu materii, by osiągnąć poziom zrozumienia duszy człowieka. Teraz rozumiesz, być może, dlaczego Kreator wysłał swoich posłańców w imię tego, co miałeś. To oni przynoszą uszy, aby można było ich użyć, gdy nadejdzie czas Mesjasza. Mogę nauczyć duszę i przesłanie. Nie by się przeciwstawiać, ale poprzez ich zrozumienie przez tych, którzy stali się Mesjaszami, aby dawać ze swoich dusz, aby ich elewować. Zadanie stało się łatwe. Szkoła jest tutaj i uczniowie są tutaj w oddaniu. Wtedy nie będzie żadnej walki między tym, co nazywają muzułmanami, a chrześcijanami. Baranek i lew będą jeść i spać w tym samym gnieździe. Chrześcijanie i muzułmanie będą spać i modlić się w meczecie, w tym samym kościele, w imię ich dusz, nie w imię religii, które są używane do tworzenia tak wielu konfliktów, dla korzyści tych, którzy byli hiperaktywnymi dziećmi. Nadszedł czas, czas zmian jest tutaj. I jak powiedziałem, moje życzenie jest moim rozkazem. Jeśli pragniesz ujrzeć pokój, droga pokoju jest wyłożona bardzo wyraźnie. To dusza świadomości zbiorowej. Poprzez dawanie stworzy tą pozycję zmiany. Nic innego. W duszy człowieka nie ma długopisu. Jestem pewien, że po wejściu do społeczności uniwersalnej nigdy nie zobaczysz niczego zapisanego, ale równowagę pól duszy egzystencji. Staraj się być na tyle pokornym, aby nie stać się aroganckim w mocy, którą zrozumiałeś i posiadłeś. Inaczej wpadniesz w tą samą ścieżkę kościoła i meczetu. To jest to, co obiecaliśmy i to właśnie dostarczyliśmy. Musimy zrozumieć działanie duszy. I musimy zrozumieć, że dusza człowieka jest gwiazdą w kosmosie wszechświata. Jeśli porównamy duszę człowieka i tak wielu nas, 7 miliardów w jednym zbiorze, Ziemia jest jak galaktyka z tak wieloma gwiazdami. Kiedy patrzymy w głąb wszechświata, widzimy galaktyki z setkami milionów gwiazd. Podobnie jest z planetą Ziemią. Niesie 7 miliardów pięknych gwiazd, które są duszą człowieka. Niesie z sobą duszę tak wielu trylionów zwierząt, roślin i wszystkiego innego. Jeśli więc patrzą ci, którzy nie widzą fizyczności Ziemi i jej zawartości, co widzą? Widzą galaktykę z wielką ilością pięknych, świecących świateł. Każda według swojej siły. Każda zgodnie ze swoją pozycją. Niemowlę ma piękną duszę, podobnie jak staruszek. Dla tych niefizycznych, którzy nie widzą fizycznego wymiaru tej planety, ale widzą siłę pola, jesteśmy gromadami gwiazd. Ludzka rasa, każda pojedyncza dusza, nikt z daleka nie widzi. To jest dusza rybaka, to jest dusza kosmologa, to jest dusza prezydenta. Wszystkie świecą bez względu na fizyczność. To jest magia. Oto co nowa nauka musi przynieść człowiekowi. Kiedy patrzymy przez naszą duszę, widzimy tylko gwiazdy w innych duszach. I to jest przełom, to jest zrozumienie. Na tym właśnie polegają te wszystkie nauki. Dojście do dojrzałości następnego poziomu, aby zrozumieć daleki kosmos. Wszechświat jest ostrygą dla tych dusz, które służą. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy do wejścia w kosmos. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy, aby stać się częścią uniwersalnej społeczności, która została obiecana. Nigdy nie obiecywałem wam nieba. Zawsze obiecywałem wam elewację człowieka, aby przyłączył się do rodziny. A teraz macie klucz. To wy musicie otworzyć drzwi, aby zrozumieć, że mogę elewować duszę tych ludzi lub milionów innych dusz, że fizyczne życie na tej planecie zmieni się. Wtedy jestem godny bycia częścią społeczności uniwersalnej, by być, aby służyć, aby się rozwijać, by być tam, aby być częścią, że w cyklu życia wszechświata staje się w byciu częścią, staje się częścią totalności. Kiedy człowiek osiągnie ten punkt, pojawi się nowy wymiar w sile duszy człowieka, który jest poza wyobrażeniem zrozumienia życia fizycznego. To jest brama do otwarcia nowego życia w nowym wymiarze, co jest poza wyobrażeniem tego, co mogliście nazwać nowym początkiem, nowym cyklem, gdzie ten cykl niesie ze sobą źródło stworzenia życia we wszechświecie i unikosie. To jest elewacja duszy, aby służyć. Stała się kluczem. Nie tron życia fizycznego. Czas jest odpowiedni, nadszedł czas, aby człowiek przeszedł przez ten proces. Witamy wszystkich na 365 warsztatach poszukiwaczy wiedzy w języku polskim. Dzisiaj mamy niedzielę, 24 maj 2020 rok, godzina 21 i zaczynamy tłumaczenie drugiej części 328 warsztatu poszukiwaczy wiedzy i czasy na dzisiaj, które są przetłumaczone, to jest od 2 godzin 5 minut i chyba tam jest 30 sekund do 2 godzin 54 minut 46 sekund, od 3 godzin 4 minut 42 sekund do 3 godzin 20 minut i 20, od 3:41 do 3:54 krótka przerwa i od 3:58 do 4:06 minut. I potem jak zwykle rozmowy, pytania, odpowiedzi. Jeżeli będziecie mieli jakieś pytania, to zapraszam. A więc zapraszam do obejrzenia drugiej części tego wykładu.
Thank you very much. But if you understand this, one in Brazil and one in Iran goes back to what we did with salads in Caribbeans by putting the ganses around the garden. We created a dome and we protected the house and the garden. If you still remember that video. Now, with the citizens of the world spraying and providing their gas, and because your gas water carries Zn, NSCO, this dome, once established across this planet, will create a peace, as it satisfies and fulfills the what we call emotional lacking, which was existing in the life of the man on this planet. So we covered the two ends between Iran and Brazil, and with it, we'll create that dome of peace as they join. And now it's the job of you lot between the two. From Turkey to Germany, to England, to America, to China, to Japan, to India, and the rest, and Australia, to do the same. And send your pictures and see how we collectively become part of that dome. We enforce the dome and we create peace with it. This is, if you understood, we always said there was a slight problem in the structure of this planet, and that was satisfaction of the emotion and the feeling of the man. And we against one, what we call cup of life, we gave life to the whole of planet, and not just the man who was infected by corona. And what you do, the amount of gases of Zn and CO2, which will come to be distributed around the world to overcome what we call corona, man will take that step to correct the misbalance in the energies and the rays of this planet. And man will become peaceful. In so many ways, do not worry about the souls which took the path to be what we call the enlightens of this process in leaving the physicality, but in time and in this elevation, they become part of us and they will join us. No child will feel the missing of the father, and no father will miss the child who lost in this process. As now they will see each other in the process and dimension of the soul, and physicality will be their choice. But in some cases, mankind has to go through what I call an evaluation of its own conduct, and in that process to elevate the soul of those who misconduct. So hopefully next week and the weeks to come, we see more flags, as we have covered the two ends of the sphere. It's for you to fill in the gaps. In the coming weeks, most of you who are here as knowledge seekers will become the ambassadors of peace in your own nations, as we know what is about to happen. As every man who knows a little about the GANs will become so needed that the others want to receive and reach that level of what I call understanding and evolution and elevation of their souls. Mankind will not look for ganses anymore to escape from corona. Mankind will look for ganses to elevate his soul in totality, even the animals and the plant, that he can enjoy their presence. The cycle of the change of the man has come. But we needed to do it this way. Maybe was it necessary to go this way? We did not create a condition. We use a condition to speed up the creation and its process. In so many ways, it would have come totally different way. But on the other hand, maybe this way was by mistake others needed to put everything right, which the man has done wrong, and why with another wrong we have put everything right in one go. So what man has done over centuries with the deliberate act of another man to destroy more has led to the freedom of the man to become the passenger of space and understand the totality of the knowledge of the universe. Today's teaching is very heavy. Today's teaching needs a lot of understanding. Today's teaching goes back to the essence of the beginning of life from the point of the creator and the creation. If you understood the hydrogen, if you understood the deuterium, if you understood the difference between deuterium and tritium, which we were teaching for such a long time, and then you understood the interaction of that hydrogen to create helium to become a balance, and one cell, while is imbalance outside, is balanced within, then you understand the whole process of the creation. We use terminology and we use science that theology never exists, that knowledge understood and the theology comes out of the strength of technology and understanding of the science of creation. That no race and no creature can ever claim to be and want to be better than the other, but we are all equal and participate in sharing and elevating the soul of the Creator. As with his elevation, we elevate ours. Maybe for the first time, many of you who wanted to know where planet Zeus was, now you understand. Join us, and with it, bring the change. Or we do our way, and we bring the change, and you have to become to follow. Either way, the whole of universal community is reaching a new level that will bring peace across the universe. And in so many ways, elevating man made it necessary to elevate the whole of the soul of the creation, that in total they can see and understand the beauty of the Creator. I hope mankind one day will understand what has been taught today. And I hope those of you who listen mature to the point of his maturity to become man of a space in any dimension you like, as long as mankind and the rest of the universal community chooses the path of peace. Means sharing unconditioned, giving unconditioned, and being available to give unconditioned. Thank you very much for today, and I hope we have raised the whole structure of understanding and interaction of the man with the universe and universal community one step higher, one level higher, that you become more aware and you decide if you want to be the passengers of physicality or the passengers of the energy of the soul of the Creator and your own creation. Any questions?
Thank you very much, Mr. Keshe. And as usual, I'll remind our attendees you can raise your virtual hand if you have a question. And we have a couple of questions in the Q&A. We have one from Liliana who says, hello, good morning. I have a question from a knowledge seeker of the Spanish group. Is there any relationship with Swiss Indo, they propose a single religion with a king to restore glory to the people on earth, the happiness of human beings, issue money for their support through self-sustaining productive projects. They call it resurrection. They give the money, they have their own bank. Is there any connection there, Mr. Keshe, or is that a separate organization?
I don't even understand what this is.
Yeah, we'd have to maybe look it up to try to get an understanding of that, and maybe it's something we could do in the background. Do you want to know more about that, or shall we pass to another question?
No, really, these are different organizations and there are different ways of doing things. And we should not be, there are many, many organizations. We've seen some of the foundations who invested so much to increase and bring more control of pharmaceutical. Now seeing the process which is coming in, and their own families have been hit by this corona situation, they suddenly become philanthropists in doing these kind of things. Where before they supported the pharmaceuticals to create more. This corona has brought a lot of thinking to a lot of people who thought they were untouchable. You got to realize many, many of these people have themselves in touch with it. You got to understand, people like, let's say, the Prime Minister of Canada, his wife, the Prime Minister of Spain, the Prime Minister of England, the Prime Minister of Guinea-Bissau was infected, the Prime Minister of Russia, who we've been told infected, and many in the leadership in China. And we've seen close quarters at the White House, which they say they're infected and they'll be better. Follow them for the next 3 to 5 years. They will all die. Most of them will die of cancers and abnormalities due to corona. When you see the 1.4 million infected in the United States and 80 million, and they say 200 or 300 have recovered, move that 200, 300, 5 years, they'll become dead. The 1.4 million will move to the other side. There should be an organization to follow these people, and you will see we are 100% correct. As I said, a test was done in Iran in the very recent days. In one of the states, they took random samples. 22% of the population of the state carry the virus. It means at the present, 22% of the state will die of corona or related corona diseases between 3 to 5 years. Or they will face consequences of corona with everything else which will come. But in this process, they will give to more. And in 2 years' time, maybe 44 or 54% contaminated. In 10 years' time, it'll be 100% of us will carry it. The process of reduction through corona with its pain and things will touch all of us. In a scientific paper to be published, you will see, you understand my opinion and what we see and scientific background to it. In so many ways, we'll see a lot of philanthropists and a lot of people become philanthropists because they think, I want to do something to stop my child, myself, and the rest. Even Gates is not immune from his own mistake and stupidity because they don't have the mutation. They don't have, nobody has created mutation conversion. Even Keshe Foundation, with the technology of the plasma, we have easier way to mutate with this process because instantaneously all of you can produce. When we see in the coming weeks corona in the heart, one program on television will inform you all how to handle it. The process and conversion of the corona would not be hidden in the back of governments to see what they can milk it. It will be in front of television that everybody is ready, you feel it, this is what is going to be done. In reality, as we see in the coming weeks, the corona will be on television of everyone with technology and know-how of the use of the plasma fields. The process has started. We literally have no choice in it. We are part of it. We are the instigator of it. And in so many ways, so many people are using it that we have, and because of it, we have to teach to the rest. So as corona changes, we update and find new ways for those who see those symptoms to overcome it. New research and development has started in introducing a new type of gas as injection, which has a much more rapid effect. It has to go through its clinical trials. So in so many ways, in the next few months, we will see gases as what can be injected in hospitals or by doctors in the surgeries. If they see the symptoms of it, it can be sorted. You do the prevention or control at home. But the death through corona, through gas technology, is one of the possibilities to stop. One of the possibilities. We cannot be ignorant and arrogant to say we are the only solution. In so many ways, you will see what is called plasma gas production units very soon across this planet. And this will evolve further and further and further. And this evolution will be to the benefit of mankind. So, if you see these people want to keep whatever they don't have, there's a lot of organizations who made themselves this, what they call cryptocurrencies, and they want to give to everyone, but they have no value to do it. And in so many ways, we see many, many philanthropists who will start spending it because they think they've been hit, or their family, or what they call the torture of their own souls and their physicality, what they've done wrong. As we see, there's a partition for genocide from Gates and the White House. Depends how much bribe he can pay to keep it away. But in so many ways, this misconduct had to be put correct for the totality to understand. As I said, it's very interesting if you understand the behavior of the Americans. They blew up the two towers in New York themselves to bring financial control they wanted, and then they took Iran to court to pay for the damages. How much more criminals can be? We will put these things right. Gates Foundation will be distributed across the humanity. Whatever sits within that family will pay for the damages this family has done to humanity. There will be no sign of this foundation very soon. And what they will do, try to still slave. But don't forget, 7.8 billion can stand one man. He's theft and one of the biggest criminals. In so many ways, foundations of gate will be open gate for everyone to find a new foundation for humanity. Correct foundation, correct basis that we all conduct through. But I was explaining to knowledge seekers, I spend a lot of time nowadays teaching to prepare every level of the foundation and knowledge seekers and government and officials to know what is to come. And in so many ways, we have to learn through this process that there should be no, what I call, kings and presidents and leaders who then lead to abuse. We have to rule through our own soul and the kingdom of God, which is crowned on the whole of this creation and not on one. And the sooner the man enters that understanding, the more peaceful life will become. And this is what we always said. We're getting there. The process is there, but don't worry about these foundations who do a lot, but they don't have much to do. People, when they benefit by something, they believe in it. And the Corona is there, and the Keshe Foundation plasma technology is there, and they see the benefit of it, and they convert into the way of it, the ethos of his peace, free share of knowledge. And if they go further to elevate their own soul. Any other question?
Yes, we have an attendee with his hand up by the name of John Blevin. Maybe we can
Oh, we don't know this guy. Don't let him in. No, he's too dangerous. He asks very big questions.
You read me.
Hi, John. How are you?
Hi, thank you.
John is waiting so anxiously to open that Arizona center that his hand is itching. I want to get my hands on the systems.
Yes, of course.
Yep. Yes, John.
Can you explain if we were to take the GANs material and dry it down and make the GANs of GANs, is that process taking atoms of the material and breaking it down into further smaller segments, and is it stronger by orders of magnitude?
If I remember correctly, I still see you sitting in a chair in training in the back, and you asked more or less the same kind of situation and question in understanding, can we get it in any shape or form? It'll work. Yes, it does. A GANS works as a bone of the man, a GANS works as a cell of the heart of the man, and a GANS works as a cell of the brain of the man. And the same GANS works as the skin of the man. So when you dry it, when you solidify it, is what is built your own body. So it's possible. It does work. And depends what the strength you need and what you expect of it. The whole thing comes back to the teaching in the past few months. Look at the fields and not at the matter state. If you look at the solid state of GANS, which is your bone, it in fact is a massive gravitational field. That's why it's become bone. It's the edge of the black hole, if you want to call it. It's the surface of the totality of the fields, which the rest get attached to it. Then they become muscles and tissues and the rest of it. We don't have anywhere in our body where there is not a bone and the physicality exists. And this is what the mankind, if you understand it, you can use the ganses accordingly to the same way. If you structure the ganses the way it's structured in the liver, or if you structure the ganses which is structured within the brain of the man, you have the biggest storage and memory bank. And nobody has ever touched it yet. So the future computers the size of the brain of the man would replace all the present computers, the calculators and the laptops and the rest of it, because it's limitless in the storing. But we haven't understood it. It's a certain mixture and certain salinity and certain solidity that gives it that mixture. If I know a lot of humans do, get a knife, get a very, very sharp knife, and hold the knife, especially one of those knives which are fully stainless steel, no wooden handle and something else, and get the brain of an animal and try to feel the energies and the spaces and the tensions as you put a knife from outside to go inside. You will see, you will feel different texture, different information, different understanding of what it is, but it's all the same. Do the same with the liver. You will see the same. You feel. In the brain of the man, the pressure and the texture is of information, of unity. In the liver is mixture of every element you feel. because it has to make a texture, a place for copper, for zinc, for this acid, for that acid, and everything else. And each one has a different thickness and different dimension and different space gap in the liver. When you open the liver, you see nothing but the space gap. It's a storage of the energy, which that energy is calcium or whatever. And when the body needs it, it sends the energy and it converts at the point of emotion and the physicality, which becomes the cell of the skin or whatever. In the brain, it's the same, but it's the information and no matter state. And when you understand this, then do you want the gans in the shape of form of blood, a tissue, the liver, or the brain? We say in English, horses for courses. What do you want? What do you want to do with it? Use the dry form of it and bring it together, you have the bone. It has a purpose. It still creates fields. That's why it's there. And that thickness of the bone decides how much tissue it can take, decides the shape of your finger, the size of your finger, the size of your skull. And that shows your behavior. Because it says, this is what I made it for this purpose. I was explaining this very recently. When you stand in front of me, you're naked. And Caroline kills me for it. When so many times she says to me, don't do this. I said, I'm not doing anything, but I can see everything. But I pretend I'm stupid. I pretend I don't know. Because if I say what I know, there'll be nobody talking to me. So I have to let them to be. Because the way the soul has decided to make that finger, the tip of the finger, the nail, the way you show it, it gives all the information about you, what the soul wants to show, what the soul is short of, what the soul has to give. I've had this discussion many, many times with Caroline. She says it's wrong what you do because you see everything and they don't see. I said, I don't do anything. I watch them. The physicality doesn't touch the soul. The two lives are coming together. You tell to someone, I love you, and has to think and then to say, I love you, it means there's a problem. I have to evaluate if I really love and how much I love. When you tell someone, I love you, and you get back, it means it's only valued. When you kiss and you get a kiss back, it means decision is made. If I have to think how to kiss you on the cheek, on the lips, or on the forehead, it brings a different dimension. When a man or a woman stands in front of you, if you learn the soul, you see it. Why do you need to shake hands? And why do they stand in that position? Then you understand the physicality of the man, the way, the shape, and the dryness or wetness of the ganses depends and shows the wetness and dryness of the woman's understanding or the man's understanding in the position of interaction. I want to have nothing to do with this relationship. I stay dry, I keep distance. But the soul says, you stupid thing, you better do because it's got something you need. It'll elevate your physical life or elevates your soul. But the physicality has its own, what I call a school of minds and soul. Nothing is hidden from me, nothing. But I always behave as I don't understand. Because if I open my mouth, I'll have nobody to talk to. I listen to lies, and I know it's a lie. I listen to the truth, and I know it's the truth, and I know who tells me what. It doesn't matter how they dress it. And I always, always, in all my talks, refer to love, which is the giving. The love is important in the word and action because it's what you give. I see how much this soul sends, and I see how much you hand out in the physicality. And the difference between the two shows the lie and deception and state of mind. And this is what you do not understand. So when the body makes that physical condition of different ganses, that you have such a beautiful figure or a very big fat figure, doesn't show the truth about your soul. The body chooses a way to manifest itself for what is lacking to receive, or gets to the point that it doesn't matter. I'll wait till this physical life is over. In the next one, when I create it, I'll make it perfect. As I was explaining recently, why do you get the most beautiful people, man or a woman? You just want to sit and watch. Beauty in every dimension. Why? And you see with most of them a lot of arrogance. Why? These souls are beggars. They made themselves so beautiful that everybody looks and they can take, because the soul is so low. So with it brings arrogance. Those who don't have it want to show they have it. So they become arrogant, not from the possession, but the lack of owning. So that's the most ugly person to you. If I'm ugly enough, they look at me and I can elevate my soul. If mankind understand the physical dimension the way we do, and we try to teach you, nobody can fool you. Then you become, as I said, a naked person in front of my eyes. And I can give you many, many examples. When I tell you I love you, it means you have everything you choose. What do you want to take from the piece of bread? One slice, two slices. When I tell you I adore you, it means all given, nothing left. I wait to see what you put back. Then it shows the state of your soul. Or you put the same loaf back on the table. We share, and I stay truthful. Mankind has to learn this. Until they don't learn, you are in problem. Lies, cheats, different structure of the physicality. Why do we all become stars when we become a soul? Because there's no deception. There is no need to manifest in different physicality to steal, to take. So, do you want a GANS powder? Do you want a liquid GANS? You want a gel GANS? You want one GANS in the whole of the universe? You choose. Which one is more powerful? It's still the same soul, it's still the same sun, the same power. And they say the size doesn't count. It's what it's made of which counts, and what he can do with it in elevating the other souls which counts, not yours. As I said many times, the Creator is a lover, but the Creator has one attribute, and only those who are understanding of level of His will understand. It's called adoration. When you adore something, which means you get the totality. The devotion, it means I share equal. I don't hide, I don't lie. And then when you put the love, the other two together, you'll find a perfect creation, a perfect existence in any dominion. When you adore, you give. When you devote, you receive in what is being given by adoring. And if there is the same color, there is no lies. And then in that process of giving and taking is what you call love. And this is the cornerstone of the creation between the Creator and the created, as the created becomes part of the Creator. Now, how do you want your mixture, John? John, are you there? Hello?
I lost my unmute button.
I think we heard your song. You've been unmuted a long time ago, as I say. Thank you very much for being there, John.
Okay, you're welcome.
What you will see in the enhancement unit is some of you will turn into dimension of the light of your own soul. Does not mean that you die, but you become aware of your own existence. Never try to reach it while you're in it, because it has to come by the elevation of the soul of the man. In so many ways, it does not become the temple of soul. It becomes where the soul finds its temple. And it's not for physicality. In so many ways, as we load up these systems according to mankind will understand which one its soul needs to enter into. As we said, in Arizona, there'll be 6 what we call body enhancement and 4 what we call universal systems enhancement. Which means if you enter into the body enhancement and you enhance your body in balancing it, when you walk back into the universal system, your body takes what it needs from the fields of the universe. In so many ways, it's a prelude for you to enter the universal community to learn how to feed yourself, how to correct your conduct, how to elevate your soul. And don't expect that all will reach the elevation of the soul, because physicality has to be in balance. At the same time, universal community has to accept that move. We don't have no passports and no visas, but at the same time, we understand the feel of where we go, we could be a burden. So the soul says, stay till the time is right. Man become free, like the birds. We don't see, as I said many times, passports on the tail of the birds as they fly from North Pole into somewhere in the Mediterranean and crossing 10 or 20 nations. They don't land, show a passport and go. We fly free, the universe, but through the dimension of the solar. We start teaching so freely as the situation has risen, and the condition for teaching freely in making sure the soul of the creation hears and listens at the same time since last week. And that brings balance into totality. And as I said, be as far enough that the whole of the creation can hear, and be as close enough that we can hear the love of the Creator. Then you cover the whole. And this is the responsibility of those who take position and accept their own position. And in that process, we have set up what we call those who go around, and when there is not things to sort out and to make sure everything is in balance in respect to one race and color and whatever, from any planet used to Earth or whatever else, we call them universal councils. Many of the present universal councillors will resign. They have to resign because they do not carry the ethos of the soul, or they elevate themselves to become in that level. And we'll see a new cycle. We see world leaders which will step down, and world leaders will accept the equality of mankind. They are there to serve, but they do not become leaders. Servitude does not bring leadership. We see that in Iran. There are many people who serve in the background through the ethos of their love for the nation, but they have taken no place, no position, because the totality is more than individuality, and we should see that across this planet. As I said, most probably, it will be the first time since the establishment of United Nations that there will be no nation to meet to be united on the floor of the most criminal building in the world, because they're all afraid of their cronies and their cronies which created these conditions. I wonder, when it comes to it and the Iranian president comes, will the Americans and the Jews switch off their internet, or they listen? Because in the hall of the United Nations, the Iranians, when they made the speech, the Israelis and the Americans walked out, and they went and they listened to it outside what he's got to say. These deceptions are over. And in so many ways, this behavior and conduct has come to an end. Then mankind moves to a new dimension. And in the same process, as I said, as you've seen it in the Tuesday teaching, I invited the head of the Keshe Foundation as one half to explain her, or let us know her vision of where these twin sets will take the Keshe Foundation between Magnin and Ella, what they envisage that the new generation will carry. And I told to both to not stick there for more than 10 or 20 years and elevate another soul, teach them the same, to carry on. Because once we stick to the power of physicality, we have failed the soul. And we heard the vision from what Ella envisages as the future of the course for the Keshe Foundation. And then we hear next from the parallel from Magnin, how she sees it. And these two women will decide on the future of human race in balance of elevation of the soul of the man. As we brought back the balance back to the creators, not those who pretend they're in charge and call themselves men. As I said in the teaching on Tuesday, respect these two souls as you respect mine, and through their teaching and their ethos and their conduct, you will see the elevation of the soul of the man. In time, they mature to their position, but in so many ways, they will shine in their own way. You cannot have a soul without a physicality soul, and you cannot have physicality soul without a soul. And then, when you have that soul, it has a dominion and interactions with the soul, that it confirms his own existence, otherwise doesn't exist. And in that process, we have put the balance between the two. These two souls will guide mankind through a rough time. During the term, most probably you will see the time of transition into universal community. And in so many ways, it's the responsibility of all of you to protect and guide them through your souls. Should not become the point of arrogance and leadership, should become the point of humbleness and servitude. And from it will come the new birth of a new cycle, of new life. And this will become the pattern of the universe. In a way, we correct all the mistakes of the path on earth and beyond, and everything starts on a new cycle of clean slate. And it's needed. There's been enough suffering, not only on this planet and beyond. So it does not matter how life is created, on the physical dimension of the planet or in the space gaps of the fields of the universe, life will become pleasurable, will become equal and beautiful to be part of. So we are going through a transition, and it needs it. Otherwise, you will not understand where you came from, where you go, and what is the purpose of life. And we teach more. And we teach more for those of you who need to understand, to elevate, to reach that point of maturity. Carry on.
Okay. I have a problem when I made the CO2 set.
Can you tell us who you are, where are you from?
My name is Subir, I'm from Iran.
Carry on.
Okay, I have a problem when I made the CO2 setup and my zinc gets black. I don't know what's the problem. It means
There's no problem, that's what it should become.
No, the nano code like moving and sit on the zinc, and I don't have any nothing like this. The setup do not create the CO2.
Because two things. Your zinc could not be pure, and you have most probably have connected your connection the wrong way. A lot of people are doing this. Your nanomaterial, your nano-coated material, and I think this came by deliberate or by whatever act of some of the people who try to do the things. I've seen a few mistakes and I keep on telling people to correct it, but it doesn't happen. When you put the nanomaterial and when you put your zinc and when you put your copper, this has to go to negative connection, always. If you connect this has to go to your negative connection. With negative means it's pulling it. So it's creating fields. When you connect this to a positive, so now you're going and embed. You understand?
Yes, I understand, but not in the cup of man or cup of life.
The same. It
Absolutely.
happens, yeah. Let me explain.
Yes, please.
If the direction of your plates or ganses, are not the right way, not necessarily by vision of a battery or anything else, when the field balances are not there or adequate, you do not need and you will not see any production. Don't forget, a cup of man is a replication of you. Yeah?
Okay.
Some of you create a lot. It means you need a lot. Some of you create very little, and some of you create none. And the next day, suddenly you see, oh, start producing. You're so physical. You have created the copy of your own soul. What do you expect? Do you every day eat the same food to confirm you exist? This is what you got to understand. Not producing does not mean nothing happens. Not producing means there is a balance somewhere. Let me explain to you, sorry.
Yes.
I was explaining this to one of our knowledge seekers last night. He sent me pictures of his cup of man. And I said to him, do you know something? The way I was explaining earlier on to you that when you stand in front of me, you're naked. I see everything. It's the same with a cup of life and a cup of man. When I see the connections of the cup of man, not looking for the ganses, but in so many ways, pictures of what you see, it's very much like you look into the soul of the man. You see the behavior of the physicality and the soul, but you don't understand. You're looking for something to confirm I'm doing something. Some of you create a heap, some of them create, it's a palm reading, is what you used to call a coffee reading. You used to drink a coffee and they used to look at it and interpret it. This is the true interpretation of the man. This is why I tell you, don't make cup of man for somebody else because it doesn't work. So when you see my cup of life, this side doesn't work, If it creates, does it mean that you needed it to create it, or is it a balanced in true essence of the soul that does not need creation? You create when you need, and this is a lack of understanding of the man. I start teaching the knowledge seekers close who are continuously in touch with me to elevate them to their new level, to raise their knowledge to the same level. I go into understanding more for them, because then they see. When you is saying, I start talking to my cup before I get home, what do you expect? The cup knows what you're doing before you get home, even if you're on the planet Zeus. You left a fingerprint behind, which is live and continuously changes its print.
Okay, sir.
You understand?
Yes, yes, I understand. That was not. I ask. I built a cup of man. Now is a 3 week old. In the first week, I get the feeling I have to change my food. Now I become a vegan, and my sleep is so soft, so relaxed. And
Because you eat more of souls.
Okay. And opposite of the people say my eating will get less, I get more. I don't know why. Maybe something.
Because you consume more. You have to justify. Because you think you're not taking meat, psychologically you eat more to compensate for it. This happens to everyone who moves from meat eating to vegetarian and to vegan, and it's become fashionable to be vegan. And I'll tell you one thing very easy.
Yes.
This is the cow. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not very good. Yeah. And has one soul. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a wheat with many flowers, and each one has a soul. When you eat from a cow, you're responsible for part of it. When you're vegan and vegetarian, you're responsible for more souls. And why we say vegetarians are calm? Because they've taken more souls. I call it the level of criminality of the extension of ignorance. And because if you take this seed and plant it, it'll give you life as a totality. So it has its own soul. Those who think are vegetarian, they don't like to see the animal die. One plate of meat takes part of one life. One bowl of rice takes many thousands of souls.
So we didn't change at all.
We got worse.
Yes.
We got worse.
What can we do?
Nothing till we elevate to the position of tapping into the surplus energies of the universe. The thing you have to understand is that this green on this plant still radiates its energy. We got to learn to use this, not to use this. It gives what it doesn't need. When we had that cup of life with the orange and Alex putting a banana and something else to get him drunk, as he wished, he felt and he received. He says, is Alex there in the background? Alex, darling, are you there? Is Alex, you can promote him up? Rick, do you see him in the panels?
Yeah, I see him there.
Just bring him up. It's gorgeous to hear from him. Hi, Alex. Hi, Alex. Hi. Alex, it's nice to hear you. Can you explain to us how you got yourself drunk and how you fed yourself with a cup of the energy?
That was the games I made. I think I made the reactor. I think I made the CO2 reactor. Then I added some so alcohol. Then, after a couple of days, when the gas must have settled, I took some of the gases, I washed it out, and then I put it in a separate bottle. When I drank from the bottle, I got tipsy.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we keep on losing you. You got to stay fixed and come close to your microphone.
Okay, hold on, let me put on the headset. Yeah, hello.
Yep, this is perfect.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, like
go
I said,
back to the beginning.
okay. I made the reactor, the CO2 reactor, and then I added some alcohol. And then when the guns started settling, I took it out, washed it up, and then I took a sip from it, and then that was it.
So you didn't need to drink the alcohol.
No. I already had the alcohol in the guns, so I didn't have to drink it. Same thing with other things, like if you put the tomatoes on top of your CO2 reactor, you're gonna have the effect. You're gonna taste the tomatoes all day long, even orange. Anything you put on it.
Does it come by the choice of time you want to taste the tomato now and the banana tonight?
No. It's all day long.
Is that as you sip on the water?
Well, you just have to sip once, and that's it. Throughout the day, you have the
the
effect.
whole day you got a tomato.
Yeah, you have the effect. You have the taste in your mouth. You can feel that you ate tomatoes.
So we don't need to actually kill a plant or a tomato to get this taste and the pleasure of it.
Well, no, I don't. You don't have to. But that doesn't mean that you're not going to be hungry. Right? Tomatoes don't feed you anyway. You can't eat tomatoes and be fed anyway, because I've not done it with proper food. But what I've done it with tomatoes, oranges, bananas, and alcohol, and
Chinese have done this and they lived with it for months.
Okay. Yeah.
They don't eat. There's a guy called Charles. We don't see him around Foundation nowadays. He lived like this for 7 months. Yeah,
I've lived with this for a long time as well. You know, I did some other things. I did some other, because I mix the herbs. I mix the vegetables and herbs together. I just gave myself some experiment. I did an experiment with it, and then I lived a couple of days without even having to feed on anything. I told Rick about that. I think I spoke to Rick about that in some of his workshop a couple of months back.
Yeah, but Chinese, group of Chinese have done for a long time. using the gas water without eating.
That's possible.
Oh, they've done it. We met him. He used to be the translator of my voice in Chinese till about 2 or 3 years ago. He used to say, I know what is going to come next. I translate immediately, but I can't translate. Nobody else's English I can't do. With your voice, I can translate from English to Chinese before you speak, but the rest I can't do.
And then another thing is, if you mix if for instance you make composite ganses, like you put orange and tomatoes on your CO2 reactor, and then when you collect the gans and drink from it, sometimes it depends on what time of the day. Sometimes you feel the taste of tomatoes in the mouth. Sometimes you feel the taste of orange in the mouth. So if you have two of them, it's going to come at different intervals.
So it's very hard to have a cocktail, huh? A fruit cocktail is an impossibility.
Yeah, of course it is, but it's not. You're not going to feel. You're not going to taste and feel the cocktail at the same time. It's one after the other. You're going to feel. You're going to taste and feel orange at one time, maybe at 1 in the evening, or tomatoes in the morning, and so on. But I used to like. I used to like using the bitter leaf. I don't know if you know about the bitter leaf. Some very bitter.
Yeah.
When I have that all day long, my mouth is bitter all day long. The effect is very nice. If you use that, it suppresses every other thing you put. Like when I mix the bitter leaf with maybe mango or whatever, I'm gonna have the taste of bitter leaf all day long. It suppresses every other one.
Alex is one of the what I call leading experimental guys in the world I know.
Thank you.
There is no limitation. Thank you very much, Alex.
Yeah, thank you.
You're still grounded in England because of the corona.
Yeah, I'm still here.
I think they need you in the hospital somewhere. We can get you to help.
Well, hopefully I want to go back really.
No, I mean, in England, there's a lot happening with this corona business. They don't, they will come into it very soon. Thank you very much, Alex. Physicality and the soul. And if you receive it and in essence become part of his creation, it's a feeling mankind does not understand. It's very, very hard. It's one of those that 99999 attributes of the Creator. As one of our friends just said, he gets a goosebump. That's a bump which appears in the soul of the man, and he gives it a good feeling, achievement. So, if you want to see the light of the soul, or the light of the knowledge, or the light of a feeling, you can do all of it now. You can sense the light of intention, because everything has a field strength. Now we understand it. So, what light do you want to see? Confirming that your soul exists, so you still want to look at it in the eye of physicality. If you want to see with the eye, is inside the soul, it's inside your brain, you see the mirror. Because that's the limitation of it. If you want to see with the essence of emotion, it means emotion comes in what you want to feel and remember from the interaction of the soul of physicality and the soul of the man. And if you want to feel it as a soul, that's the dimension when you make sure you understand. It's like a tickle. Just creates a very good vibration in the fields of the emotion of the soul. It's what I was explaining to, and I've said before, I called it like a tickle factor. When I was researching in Tehran Sharif University, they couldn't understand when I used to put the reactor in the middle of the room. And I wanted to measure the field. In a way, I explained this before. It was very interesting. And that was when I stand here and I put the system here. Because the system was created while I was testing it, I don't see it. But it was very interesting the way I used to position this, and this is the door. I used to ask the driver or the bodyguards, I called them for whatever reason, they couldn't understand what they come in. And as they come into the room, I was waiting for them to see where they bend. It's a field interaction. You know the way you feel the pain of the corona now when you put the ganses on? You see, and we say if the pain is in, if the corona is in the head or the lung, because you feel that pressure, they get hit by this and they bend. Now, in the body, we do the reverse of it with putting a gans patches on the both sides of the body. This is for the first time, maybe you understand. Years ago, I've been telling you the tickle factor, I call it. And the minute they come in, because they are not used to this field, they're not part of it, they come into it, then I could say, how was the extent of my field from my reactor? If the guy bend, it's like somebody punching you, trying to punch you in your stomach and you bend to protect yourself. It's that kind of feeling, exactly sharp pain you get when you put the pads on. Now you understand how much earlier I was teaching you about it. Now you understand it maybe. So I said, oh, my field is this much. I want to increase it. So I fiddled with the setting. And the guy says, there's nothing, I just want a cup of tea or whatever. They used to go bring a cup of tea. And then you adjust it. And you see the first time, it tickled here. And then you tickled there. Oh, this was my new combination to extend the field. My drivers and bodyguards became part of the, teaching process for me to measure. We had a beautiful guy who was the driver. He's always there and he was protective. And he used to go in the basement, floors and floors below. There was a mosque there. And they used to call him. So every time he went, I knew I had about 15 minutes before he gets to me. And I could set and see. And their strength, it depends how fast they bend, is like the amount of pressure you feel, magnetic field pressure when you do pads on. I knew how strong my fields are. I had a measurement tool. And this is the best way to do it. So you measure what you want. If I set this on the emotion of the laughter, when they come in, they laugh. And it depends where they laugh. When you put it in the emotion of, let's say, anger, when they come in, when they get angry, irritates the nerves, a part of the brain system. All these tests has been done in a very, very detailed way through the human emotion. And then you want to see, you can sense if you feel it through your soul. And feeling it through the soul, it's a different. We don't have the vocabulary in the language of the man. When you feel it, you see it. When you're touched by the essence of it, it's that way that you know what it is. You don't see the color of the soul. You feel the interaction of the fields of it. And you know this is, for example, to you is a pink is danger, or it's too close, I can feel the pressure. It is beautiful to see, to confirm any emotion of existence and interaction. Don't forget, those you see, what you call aliens and UFOs, they have not reached this level of understanding. They're still in the dimension of physicality. They have learned like you how to make cars, but they're flying cars. These dimensions of the soul which we teach now is for the future and for those who have reached that level in the last levels to extend. And this has been given to 2 people on this planet Earth. And it stays sacrosanct. Because it has to cover the whole mankind has reached to their knowledge and the extent of their knowledge, that through this as one, you see the strength of the soul of the Creator. You learn this very, very fast. Many of you will carry on with answers and whatever with the normal physical life. Many of you will go into with the new support and work with the universities and the rest, develop what you call the UFOs and flying systems and making materials for those who go to space. A lot of concentration of the work from now on in the coming years will come on providing systems for deeper space travels for those who take these steps, for bringing things for man to enjoy or putting man outside. The space technology, the new space technology through plasma technology, will become in the backbone of 80% of the life on this planet. Because then all governments work in one direction, or what you call all people work in one direction. And it's so much to do, so many things to learn continuously, new communication systems, soul communication systems, transportation with this. Man will have so much to do that he has no time for war. In the pride of man will be true knowledge, not killing knowledge the way it's done up to now. It is, in essence, we learn more. In essence, we share more. And you will see with the present situation, no government can afford arms. There's no borders, everything is gone. And now we come to our senses. We'll come to our senses. We have no choice. And in so many ways, we'll see the abolishment of the religions very soon, as they all become one. We see the abolishment of the arms. We see the abolitions of kingship. And we see servitude, those who want to serve, but they never stay leaders, because they don't see themselves as leaders, but they are there to serve, not to lead. Then it becomes, as I said, you recognize the true members of Universal Council by the light they shine, not by the name they carry as the badge on the shoulder. It's a big change. You will learn.
Mr. Keshe, we had a question from Jan in the YouTube. You mentioned that the light, he has a question, is there a dark force in the universe? Does such a being called
It's yours. It's
Lucifer
yours.
or Jinn or Shaitan Satan or whatever, exist as an entity that is an enemy to the good forces of loving and caring forces?
Made by the religion. A phantom.
Okay. Then that ties in with Jamila's question, what will be next for the religions and their believers after the break with the impact of the coronavirus?
It's not a break, it's understanding the truth. The man will always, this is nature, to find a connection that I don't understand. When a man start understanding that I understand, then he understands he doesn't need somebody to tell him how to feel and what to do. This is the beauty of it. We mature very, very quickly. Because don't forget, now we're going to be on television. And when the CNN said it must be true, the whole souls will start elevating. As I said, by putting ban on Keshe Foundation in international news and what we have achieved, they tried to promote the viruses and everything else they wanted to kill with. Now, is there? There is not a nation that you as knowledge seekers don't use the guns and the others. And it cannot be hidden. Many of you working on it, and then we'll, as one guy wrote to me years ago, Mr. Keshe, I believe your technology is true when CNN announced it. What a bunch of thieves, pedophiles, and murderers to confirm the beauty of the technology. You can keep it. CNN reports nothing but murder of man by the instigator of the murder. So when you hear the news on CNN, you know the list of the criminals, not the news. As I said, it's the same with Wiki. They put the picture, the life story of it.
Actually, the GANs have developed outside of the cup on the little saucer I had underneath, and nothing has eventuated inside the cup. So I was wondering what could have happened here. Why is there white crystals all around the cup outside, and inside the cup it's clear water?
You have created specific conditions with your cup of life. And is it GANs or is it salt outside?
Oh, I don't know what it is.
Is your wire dripping down this way? Let me put it this way. Is your wires are dripping down this way and you're collecting the waters here? This happens to a lot of people. Your wires, because of the plastic connection and the motion of the field, literally suck water from your thing and they come down like this. And because they have a salt, they solidify here. Or people see it, waters and the white marks.
Right.
You have to make sure your connections is above the water line, as we call it, that you don't get this. And then you get, even that, you get some accumulation of the salt on these parts, which is because of the field created here. Salt inside the water creates the fields that collect salt from the space.
Right.
So, because don't forget, as our gorgeous Alex was just saying, you put an orange here, you create a field of orange. Now you create a field of salt here because of the NaCl you put in. So now the matter state of it is here because you put the matter state, you didn't make a GANs of salt to put in here. You put the salt itself. So it's a matter state GANs of salt is created outside of it.
So what you're saying is that, sorry, go on.
If you would have, this is, I taught this to some knowledge seekers years ago, and it's just another part of extension. When you make your cup of life, or any cup, and what you do, you just go and put the GANs in here, yeah, and salt, water and salt, 15%.
Yeah.
If you make GANs of salt and put it in here, you get totally different proposition. In our body, it's a GANs of salt, not salt.
Right.
John did some experiments with GANs of ganses. You understand?
Yeah.
So now, because you didn't make the GANs of salt and you made the salt, you put salt in this environment of the magnetic field of the cup. So your salt is in the matter state level, so you collect it outside in the matter level state. This is how actually, I said, desert sand appears. So this we understand, it's been taught. Everybody jumps in and just does 15% because it's easy. But if you go like Alex, you make GANs of the ganses. John does a lot of this in Arizona, makes ganses of ganses, and you change this to a GAN salt, not the salt of GANs that you put in. That is a totally different proposition. And then you'll see totally new features, something you've never seen before. Yeah. We see you out there, you learn everything since 2012.
Yeah, so what you're saying is it actually drew the sword out of the universe and manifested it
no, it
around the
doesn't
cup.
pull out of the universe. You see, on the planet Earth, the fields are all everywhere of according. When a desert passes here, all the ganses, which are the strength of this, what we call the sand of the desert, will manifest as sand on top of it. Yeah? Those places here on the oceans, that because of the combination of minerals inside, will create the strength of the amino acid and the other animals inside it. You understand? So you have created a matter state, so you're given a matter state. And you create, you attract the field. The way you attracted CO2, you brought to the GANs field of the carbon, and then with a mixture of the oxygen, it gave you the GANs of CO2. Now you have created the strength of the solid state of pure salt because of the salt combination, so you collect it here.
It actually looks like salt, yes.
It is salt. It's a pure nano salt. It's one of the best salts you can use.
So I can try to eat it.
I've done it, but I don't tell you what happens. But it's a pure salt without any minerals. Because at the moment when you get a salt, it's got a mixture of what is in the sea from the urine of the dolphin, which passed to the blood of the animal which was eaten, and it's there. You're not getting it pure. But this salt is pure salt.
Wow.
Yeah. But if you use GANs of salt, you're welcome. If you use GANs of salt, then you get a different composition. It's a beautiful way to do. I don't do experiments anymore. When I used to be in the lab, it's just it's a fascination of play. But you have to be very observant.
Thank you for that. Thank you, Mr. Keshe.
Thank you very much. Shall we call it a day? we try to keep it within 4 hours limitation.
Yeah, that sounds good, Mr. Keshe. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any
Thank you
remaining?
for questions for next week, as usual, if they turn up next week.
Yes.
Thank you very much for today. It's, as I said, the teachings become very intense, very direct, and according to what you need and the science and technology needs. And as I said, we will start seeing evolution in the course of the Keshe Foundation and Keshe Foundation internationally to governments and other parts. There was a hiccup in what we promised you for about 3-4 weeks ago, and that hiccup was one of the infiltrators within the structure of the Keshe Foundation in Iran is been sorted. The other was the acceptance of the soul by the people who were concerned, which completed last week. They're all coming together. And we'll see the elevation of the soul of the man and the change of life. And thanks to many, many of you for being there, keeping the ethos of the foundation. But be ready that whatever you learned, your governments will come to you in trying to teach them and in trying to support your local communities once the what we call the banner of new technology for viruses is released by the Iranian universities. And I'd like to thank especially the team, the Iranian team, who are so solidly, devotedly working day and night. And I give from my soul to elevate those in the upside of Khamenei to understand that we have to include all the Iranians as all the rest of the world. There should be no exclusion for no political faith, color, and race. And if we reach that point, we have elevated ourselves to become a true man. Thank you very much, and thank you, the Iranian team. I know you got a lot on your hand, and maybe
Dziękuję za obejrzenie i wysłuchanie. Warsztat dobiegł końca, tak więc jak ktoś chce zabrać głos, to zapraszam. Nie ma pytań żadnych? Ja mam pytanie, może ktoś odpowie z Was na nie. Czy istnieje jakaś inna metoda robienia gansu soli poprzez wodorotlenek sodu lub potasu? No. Okej, to ja znam tą jedną metodę. Hubert się pyta o temat komórki. Czy komórka posiada duszę i czy nie było to już wspominane na naukach dla dzieci? Czyli powiem tak, nie pamiętam, czy było wspominane na naukach dla dzieci. W każdym bądź razie tak, każda komórka, każdy tu Przemek napisał, wszystkie posiadają zbiorowo duszę fizyczności człowieka. Zbiorowo te dusze to dusze planety. Czyli tak samo w innej sile, jakby każdy człowiek jest zbiorową duszą planety, a każda komórka naszego ciała jest zbiorem naszej duszy. No dobrze, myślę, że ten warsztat dużo daje do przetransferowania wiedzy. Tak więc kończymy na dzisiaj. Spotykamy się w czwartek. Zapraszam do obejrzenia ponownie tego. Tak więc do usłyszenia. To były 365. warsztaty poszukiwaczy wiedzy w języku polskim z dnia niedzieli 24 maja 2020 roku. Dziękuję za przetłumaczenie warsztatu i spotykamy się następnym razem. Nadszedł czas zmiany, przejścia do prawdziwego działania wszechświata. I nadszedł czas, aby zrozumieć, że używamy stanu materii, by osiągnąć poziom zrozumienia duszy człowieka. Teraz rozumiesz, być może, dlaczego Kreator wysłał swoich posłańców w imię tego, co miałeś. To oni przynoszą uszy, aby można było ich użyć, gdy nadejdzie czas Mesjasza. Mogę nauczyć duszę i przesłanie, nie by się przeciwstawiać, ale poprzez ich zrozumienie przez tych, którzy stali się Mesjaszami, aby dawać ze swoich dusz, aby ich elewować. Zadanie stało się łatwe. Szkoła jest tutaj i uczniowie są tutaj w oddaniu. Wtedy nie będzie żadnej walki między tym, co nazywają muzułmanami, a chrześcijanami. Baranek i lew będą jeść i spać w tym samym gnieździe. Chrześcijanie i muzułmanie będą spać i modlić się w meczecie, w tym samym kościele, w imię ich dusz, nie w imię religii, które są używane do tworzenia tak wielu konfliktów, dla korzyści tych, którzy byli hiperaktywnymi dziećmi. Nadszedł czas, czas zmian jest tutaj. I jak powiedziałem, moje życzenie jest moim rozkazem. Jeśli pragniesz ujrzeć pokój, droga pokoju jest wyłożona bardzo wyraźnie. To dusza świadomości zbiorowej. Poprzez dawanie stworzy tą pozycję zmiany. Nic innego. W duszy człowieka nie ma długopisu. Jestem pewien, że po wejściu do społeczności uniwersalnej nigdy nie zobaczysz niczego zapisanego, ale równowagę pól duszy egzystencji. Staraj się być na tyle pokornym, aby nie stać się aroganckim w mocy, którą zrozumiałeś i posiadłeś. Inaczej wpadniesz w tą samą ścieżkę kościoła i meczetu. To jest to, co obiecaliśmy i to właśnie dostarczyliśmy. Musimy zrozumieć działanie duszy i musimy zrozumieć, że dusza człowieka jest gwiazdą w kosmosie wszechświata. Jeśli porównamy duszę człowieka i tak wielu nas, 7 miliardów w jednym zbiorze, Ziemia jest jak galaktyka z tak wieloma gwiazdami. Kiedy patrzymy w głąb wszechświata, widzimy galaktyki z setkami milionów gwiazd. Podobnie jest z planetą Ziemią. Niesie 7 miliardów pięknych gwiazd, które są duszą człowieka. Niesie z sobą duszę tak wielu trylionów zwierząt, roślin i wszystkiego innego. Jeśli więc patrzą ci, którzy nie widzą fizyczności Ziemi i jej zawartości, co widzą? Widzą galaktykę z wielką ilością pięknych, świecących świateł. Każda według swojej siły. Każda zgodnie ze swoją pozycją. Niemowlę ma piękną duszę, podobnie jak staruszek. Dla tych niefizycznych, którzy nie widzą fizycznego wymiaru tej planety, ale widzą siłę pola, jesteśmy gromadami gwiazd. Ludzka rasa, każda pojedyncza dusza, nikt z daleka nie widzi. To jest dusza rybaka, to jest dusza kosmologa, to jest dusza prezydenta. Wszystkie świecą bez względu na fizyczność. To jest magia. Oto, co nowa nauka musi przynieść człowiekowi. Kiedy patrzymy przez naszą duszę, widzimy tylko gwiazdy w innych duszach. I to jest przełom, to jest zrozumienie. Na tym właśnie polegają te wszystkie nauki. Dojście do dojrzałości następnego poziomu, aby zrozumieć daleki kosmos. Wszechświat jest ostrygą dla tych dusz, które służą. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy do wejścia w kosmos. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy, aby stać się częścią uniwersalnej społeczności, która została obiecana. Nigdy nie obiecywałem wam nieba. Zawsze obiecywałem wam elewację człowieka, aby przyłączył się do rodziny. A teraz macie klucz. To wy musicie otworzyć drzwi, aby zrozumieć, że mogę elewować duszę tych ludzi lub milionów innych dusz, że fizyczne życie na tej planecie zmieni się. Wtedy jestem godny bycia częścią społeczności uniwersalnej, by być, aby służyć, aby się rozwijać, by być tam, aby być częścią, że w cyklu życia wszechświata staje się w byciu częścią, staje się częścią totalności. Kiedy człowiek osiągnie ten punkt, pojawi się nowy wymiar w sile duszy człowieka, który jest poza wyobrażeniem zrozumienia życia fizycznego. To jest brama do otwarcia nowego życia w nowym wymiarze, co jest poza wyobrażeniem tego, co mogliście nazwać nowym początkiem, nowym cyklem, gdzie ten cykl niesie ze sobą źródło stworzenia życia we wszechświecie i unikosie. To jest elewacja duszy, aby służyć. Stała się kluczem. Nie tron życia fizycznego. Czas jest odpowiedni, nadszedł czas, aby człowiek przeszedł przez ten proces.